This is Essie Featured. This is the power of sports.
From the expanse of the Grand Canyon to sunset at Sedona, the natural wonders of northern Arizona stand impervious to time and matters of the human heart. If it's solitude you seek, you can find it here.
Most of the time it's by myself. It's the way I like it. Keeps me at peace. It works for me.
Time was when everyone was watching him work.
Here's Bjorn Nmo.
Nittmo.
Bjorn Nmo.
Bjorn Nmo, native of Sweden.
Nmo puts it through.
Bjorn Nmo delivers.
He was the most unlikely media star in the history of pro football.
Paul, did you watch any football over the weekend?
No, I didn't.
Ask me who my favorite NFL star is.
Who is your favorite NFL star?
Bjorn Nmo.
A Swedish left-footed kicker for the New York Giants, filling in for an injured Raul Allegre in 1989.
A man born to play football, or Bjorn to play football, as it turns out.
Man Garden.
He missed a few kicks.
Nmo. And it is no good.
He made a few more.
Bjorn Nmo. It's good.
He made tackles, too.
Nmo in on the tackle.
He said, I'm just going to go in there and go against him and stick my head in there. And when I heard that, I was wondering, where are you going to stick your head? That was a pretty good little jolt from a guy named Nittmo.
Please welcome place kicker for the New York Giants, Bjorn Nmo.
The Bjorn Nmo of those days could make anyone smile.
Yeah. How did you get the job?
Kicking the ball.
He don't start.
The fun had started at 17 in Enterprise, Alabama, as an exchange student who stayed in America. He boomed field goals in high school and in college at Appalachian State, where the daughter of the athletic director was Mary Lois Garner.
I was looking through the football program and I was flipping through the pages and I came across one picture and I said, Daddy, I want him. And Daddy said, no. I said, but yes. And I won.
They'd marry before graduation and enjoy the ride together.
It was fun. It was amazing. I did what nobody from Sweden has ever done. We made it to the playoffs. I was part of that. You know, it was just a never-ending cool thing.
Over the next few years, they'd start a family. And while vying for jobs in NFL training camps, Nittmo would become a journeyman kicker in the Arena League, the CFL, and the World League of American Football.
Bjorn Nmo, high snap. The kick got its way, and he's got it! He can run for mayor tomorrow.
In Atlanta on the night of August 9th, 1997, Nittmo was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, dueling for the Bucs' place-kicking job against the incumbent Michael Husted.
Our special teams coach, Joe Marciano, came up to me and said, hey, we're going to let Bjorn take the opening kickoff. I think they just kind of wanted to see what he could do, and who knows? I mean, it crossed my mind like, wow, I could lose my job here.
And we're underway.
Bjorn hit about maybe 1 yard deep or 2 yards deep.
To the 20, 30, 35, to the 43-yard line.
Bjorn tried to make a tackle, kind of got spun around, and as he was falling down, there was a big lineman. His knee came up, and that's where the contact happened.
He obviously took one heck of a whack.
That's when I lost him.
He'd be ruled out for the rest of the game. Nittmo's behavior on the sideline would haunt Husted nearly 20 years later.
I went on to hit 4 field goals that game, And he asked if he had kicked any of those field goals. And he would ask the same things over again a couple of minutes later. It wasn't until like the fourth quarter when he kept repeatedly coming up to me that I realized, like, this guy's really hurt.
Around 2 in the morning after the game, Bjorn was on the phone with his wife.
His head hurt. He didn't really know what had happened, but he kept asking me several times, how's the baby? And I said, well, Bjorn, we have 2. I was scared to death. Why, why couldn't he remember he had 2 daughters?
They told me that I played another game. I have nothing.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
The Bucks would cut him. He would never get another NFL job.
There's a whole year missing completely. That's pretty much when life ended for me. Well, for what I used to be, whatever that was.
How many times do you think you had a concussion playing football?
A good concussion, 8 or 9 times. Somebody cleans me out, I'm laying in a heap, and somebody picks me up, and they're dragging me off to the sideline. They take my helmet off, give me some smelling salt, and it's like, oh, hello, and on we go.
He'd be out of football after 2001. Before long, with 4 kids in the Nittmo house, his children sensed a change in his behavior at home.
He would just get very angry very quickly over just like smallest things.
The screaming, the high-pitched screaming of the kids would just put spikes in my head. Just drive you crazy.
What were you afraid you might do?
Get mad, hit somebody, do something that no kid ever should have to do. See? It was better for them not to have me there.
In 2005, he stopped coming home. He and Mary Lois divorced a year later, and she would move the family from Arizona to Winsboro, Texas.
Before I was 8, I had a dad, Bjorn was there. He was the father. He went to all of my dance recitals. He coached Cat's soccer games. And then I turned 8, and that's when he left, and everything just really, really changed really fast.
He was a loving dad. He was fun to be around. He was supportive.
Were there years when you didn't hear from him?
Yeah.
Years?
Years.
Why did you stop speaking to your children?
It was too hard to talk to them. I had to remove myself completely just to get away from it.
Why did you have to remove yourself that completely? You weren't going to hit them. You weren't living with them anymore.
As painful as it was on them, it was as painful on me. I used to be into the kids so much. And now it's just, trying to catch up, trying to get to know them again.
Now in the early morning hours of an autumn day, as he's done fitfully in recent years, he is heading for Winsboro and the children he left behind. A weekend in which he'll seek to fix something that was broken long ago.
How are you? Good?
You?
Fixed your floor?
You did?
No, I'm going to.
You're going to?
It's hot and toasty. You gonna lose?
Well, she's gonna come this way.
So the bad guy can't detect the officers and go
Their feelings for their absent father have evolved since they learned for the first time what had happened to him that night in Atlanta.
One part of me was kind of relieved because I was like, oh, well, you know, it wasn't us. We weren't the issue. Yeah. And another part of me was upset because I was like, it's not his fault the way he is the way he is.
Let's take deep concentration right here.
It was sad because we watched the man that was supposed to be our dad die right there and change.
After the parade and a pep rally for the football team, Bjorn's mind rages once more.
Chaos, organized chaos. I forgot how loud those pep rallies were.
Later at the game, he can see the Friday night lights once more. In a place like this one, 3 decades ago, he could never have known that years kicking a football in America would bring him love, family, and fame, and then take it all away. As the weekend wraps up, it's time for goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
As he begins the journey back to Arizona.
It sucks to leave, but it's just total, complete chaos in my head. Fortunately, they got a great mother. And unfortunately, they got a, I don't know, beat up dad.
Yes, he may have been on the David Letterman show, and yes, he may have played football, but I mean, now his life is in shambles. I know he wasn't like that. He was loving, he loved us, he spoiled us. And he was still a father back then.
What happened to that guy? Laying on that field somewhere.